What's going on, guys? I am Toxic Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. So I know it's been a little while since we last talked, but I have recently found some inspiration, so I figured it'd be a good time to jump back in and make some content. I have been really itching to do another power level update, so that's what we're going to go ahead and do here today. Just do kind of a quick, brief account showcase like we normally do, just to give you a comparison of how things looked from the last time we did a power level showcase till now. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive in and take a look. So as you can see, my power level is upwards of 23 million at this point. I believe the last time we did a check-in, I was just breaking 19 million. So, you know, we have come quite a long way since then. I did intend to originally make like a power level update video every million power level, and I was doing that consistently for a while, but obviously given my hiatus from YouTube, I wasn't able to do that for the last couple of million. So here we are at 23 million. The last, like, I want to say 2 million that I climbed was all during the GDC, just because of the Training in the Clouds event available, and then obviously the Dokkan days that they've been giving us. You know, with the Time Chamber event that just allows you to get massive amounts of link levels, right? So yeah, I've been grinding pretty heavily as usual on link leveling, but I did want to highlight that like some things may be changing soon. There's a big conversation that needs to happen here in this video about link leveling. We will get to that. First, I figure I might as well show off my sub page and things like that, since we do like to get all of these visuals in each of these videos, right? So yeah, this is what we're looking like for character usage. Obviously, the top of this list is basically always going to look the same at this point. We have so many, you know, duplicates of all of the characters with these names in the game that they're just going to be here at the top of the list. I would say the most impressive one to date is the Piccolo Jr. Giant form, because he's the only character that you see here on this list that has... Only they have that name in the entire game. Oh, actually, the Hercule Majin Buu Good is on there too now. This is another one. Okay, so this will come back in when we start talking about the conversation of the future of link leveling that we're going to be talking about a little bit later here. But yeah, that's interesting that he's made the top of the list now too. But yeah, all these other cards, there's just so many duplicates of them. Some of them it's from link leveling purposes, some of them it's from world tournament usage, things like that. But as you can see, we have quite a few characters over 10,000 uses. That's kind of the benchmark that I go for. Looks like the next one is Super 17 here, and Super Saiyan Goten Kid. Okay. Interesting. Something to keep in mind for those ones that are gonna, you know, just bump over. And it looks like Goku Black Rose here has probably bumped over during the GDC, because that's only 50 uses. Yeah, we were using them a lot for a lot of different content, so that's quite interesting. Okay. So yeah, that's that one. And then for the events, it looks like we are actually creeping up on 200,000 quest runs. That is so insane, especially if you consider right below that all of these special event runs, right? So the spirit of the Spirit Time Chamber event that we get on Dokkan Day is a special event, and then also the Training in the Clouds is a special event. So those runs that we've been doing on there don't even apply to our normal like number of link leveled runs and quest stages, right? So yeah, that number is getting quite hefty, and then obviously all of these other ones are at normal numbers, as they should be. Okay. I mean, I say normal, it's still like, you know, in the fives of digits of how many times we've run these things. Whatever, regardless. Okay. Let's see here. Is there anything else I need to show off here? I don't think so. I guess just kind of pointing out the numbers here. We are substantially above 600,000 hidden potential system investment. I will show off the orbs. That's another thing I want to talk about. We'll actually probably segue to that immediately after this, because we are going to go right into my box. But yeah, so link levels at max level we're over 21,000. Obviously, all the stages cleared, so 4587 at the moment, and then just over 3,000 characters Dokkan Awakened box. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into the box here. Okay, so I suppose we can start with this. Oh, actually, I feel like for the sake of making a point for this video, I probably should clean out my box of all of these extra dupes and stuff. I didn't even think about that. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me clean up my box just so that all the numbers that are reflected here can be accurate, and then I'll show this off to you guys. Okay, the box is all cleaned out, got rid of all that extra fluff there. So let's go ahead and take a look at how many characters we've got at max level here. So it looks like we're looking at 30 to 49. This is almost the entire box complete. Let's go ahead and see how many we have left to do at this point. 288. So we are getting very, very close at this point to being done. Link leveling basically everything that we've got in our entire box. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Actually, you know, the interesting thing is that there's so many extra units here that can be leveled up that aren't here. Oh, actually, I know what it is. It is this tag as well, because we've got a bunch of units that technically the filter for link leveled up characters, it will show these as available to level up because they still have links that are not at 10, but they're all 9+, right? So I'm just saving all of these ones for the guaranteed link level event. And then, yeah, those will be done so later. So really what we're looking at is 235 characters. This is how many I have left until I am fully done link leveling. Now, we still have about a week left of the Training in the Clouds event for the GDC until the end of part 2 here. I believe it ends on the 22nd. It's the 15th at the time of me recording this, so yeah, about a week left here. In that week's time, I imagine I'll be able to get at least 100 characters done, probably more. I'm thinking more closer to 200, hopefully like 175, something like that. I think that doing all 235 is a little bit ambitious, just because I'm not link leveling all day every day. I do have a job now. Since the last time that we spoke, I actually have a different job than the one that I had before. The previous job that I had was in an environment that allowed me to have my phone on me and basically was kind of using it throughout the day at work. That is not the case here now. Now, when I go to work, my phone is in a locker and I only access it once on a 10-minute break. And then other than that, throughout my entire shift, I don't touch it, right? So yeah, there is long spans throughout basically every single day of the week other than my days off, where I am not link leveling, right? So I don't think we're going to be able to finish all 235 by the end of the GDC. That would be absolutely the hugest gift ever if we were able to, but I don't think it's going to happen. So we're going to be very, very close though. So basically I'm close enough to the point where now I need to start having the conversation with myself about, you know, what's next, because there's a lot of angles with this, and this right here, what we're about to talk about, is kind of the main point of me making this video. So, as you can see here, part of this 235 that we've got collectively is this wall of Hercule and Booze. So I did mention we were going to talk about this a little bit later. So if you'll notice here, I have an extra 100 of these farmed up. So once upon a time, I was doing the ancient grind for these guys here. Oh, I guess I have to take off the link level up possible tag portion of that. These guys here, the version Z Gokus. I was using these guys as my link level leaders for a long time. So I went ahead and farmed up 100 of these. Now, one thing that I was doing, you know, after I had farmed them up initially, there was still a lot of extra farming to do, because when I originally farmed them, they were only at the UR level, so I had to grind all these extra metals to be able to awaken them all to LR. And then once I did that, I also grinded 100 more copies of them at SA10 so that I could then awaken 100 more, so that basically all of the ones are awakened to LR here, and then they're also SA20'd because, you know, of being up at this high. And then after that, I went on to the next, you know, the next, like, benchmark was getting them all easy aid, and then doing it again, and getting another 100 at SA5, so that, you know, we could basically get them fully finished and invested in. Now, the way that I was doing that is I was using my reels. So as I was link leveling, my reels would, you know, I would use reels, or not link leveling, I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess as I was link leveling, my reels would fill up from playing the stages, and then once they would fill up, I would use them on the Dragon Ball Story event to farm up that version Z Goku, just because the reels are going to help you farm a little bit quicker. So I figured that was a pretty efficient way to do it, so I wouldn't have to actually purchase reels. I could just go back and forth and farm them over time, right? So once I finished with all those version Z Gokus, the very first time that all my reels hit 1,000 and were maxed out, it felt like such a waste because I had spent like over a year constantly using them every time they filled up, you know, to be able to do that grind that lasted so long. So once it finished, I was like, okay, what's the next thing that I'm going to do to start spending all these reels all the time? Because I was fully done farming all the free-to-play content in the game. And all the content in general, for that matter. So what I decided to do was grab a couple of those Hercule Boos. Because those Hercule Boos are actually a really, really good unit to link level. Just because they have so many different links, right? So they do have their base 7 here, but because they're an exchange character, when you exchange you exchange Hercule into the Majin Buu, you can see 6 out of 7 of the links actually change. So technically, when you're link leveling this guy, you are handling 13 links at once. It's not just 7, right? So you can ultimately juice a lot more power level out of the one character in your box, which means by the time you have a big stack of them, you've gone up, you know, a significant amount in power level. So there are quite a few other units like that. I know that this happens to be tied for number 1 with the unit with the most links in the game, as far as free-to-play characters are concerned. Because there are, like, 1 or 2 more. I want to say, like, the AGL transforming Goku and then the Tech transforming Frieza might have some more links. Maybe even, like, the transforming Vegeta might have more links. Yeah, some of those types of units, but obviously those aren't practical because there's no way we would be able to farm up hundreds of copies of those. We do have to kind of stick to free-to-play units here. So, yeah, so we did this with the Hercule Boos. After farming up 100 of them, seeing how quickly I was able to farm up 100 of them, it only took a couple of days. And then I was back to, like, okay, well, do I really want to, like, get over 1,000 of this character? Or do I want to just kind of cool it and stop using the reels? So that was what I decided to do, was stop using the reels for now. And now I've just been including this guy on every single one of my link level teams. He just gets a spot. Right now, actually, what I'm doing with the Training in the Clouds event, because the Training in the Clouds event has, you know, is much less threatening of a stage as, like, the most recent quest mode stages. You know, you've got, like, a less tanky enemy with less HP that's hitting you way less hard. So you can get away with a lot more while you're link leveling on the Training in the Cloud stage, which I think is wonderful. So I'm actually using this Buu as my leader, just because he's a Majin Buu Saga leader. So there are, you know, a lot of Majin Buu Saga cards left that I have to link level here. So yeah, I've just been using him as a lead and getting away with that. Once the Training in the Clouds event goes away, I'm not going to be able to do that anymore. I have found that on, you know, stages 35-6, what is it, 38-7, those are the main 2 that I'm link leveling on these days. Mostly 38-7 at this point. You need at least a 120 lead in order to survive in there. If you have anything under 120, your units are going to be in, like, a very fragile state and potentially getting KO'd, right? So definitely not something you want to have to worry about. But yeah, so we'll get back to that grind soon enough. But right now we are focused on the Training in the Clouds event here to try and get these all done. So here's the thing. Like I mentioned, there are a lot more units that you can farm up that you can take advantage of this massive link pool thing that they have. So I actually pre-built a team of it. It's this right here. These are all of the units you would use. So you'd farm up all 6 of these and just get hundreds of copies of each. Every single one of these units has at least 9 links. This guy here at the end has 9 links because when they exchange into Goku, he loses 2 links and they switch out. And then I believe you get an extra 3 links from these guys. It's like 3 or 4 links when they exchange. Because keep in mind, he has a turn 1 transformation into Great Saiyaman. He has the exchange with Majin Vegeta in his standby phase. And then this exchanges, you know, the 2 Great Saiyaman exchange between themselves. Yeah, so they're all at 4. And then the Krillin and Vegeta actually is tied with the Buu because when he exchanges from Krillin into Vegeta, he swaps 6 out of the 7 links. The same way that happens with the Hercule Buu, right? So all of these units are really, really solid for that. So basically, here's where we're at. I've got 1,000 extra slots, like maybe a little over that even, 1,300, 1,400, something like that. I could stop link leveling after I finish these 200 characters and then just wipe my hands with it, call it a day. Or I could farm up hundreds of each of these characters right here and continue the journey. And then ultimately boost my power level by a lot. So, in order to get any further with this and actually decide, you know, what we're gonna do, give you guys the full context if you're gonna try and spit some advice to me in the comments about what you think I should do or how you think I should maybe continue this journey. I need to show you guys, you know, some of the other top dogs in power level grinding, and we can have, you know, a further discussion about it. So let's go ahead and switch over to the web view here. Okay, page we haven't taken a look at in a little while here, the power level leaderboard. So not too much has changed, obviously, you know, with these, you know, millions and millions of power level gaps between everybody, these numbers don't shift around often. The only person that's even changed position here at all is Nagi. He went up one because he passed the truth finally. Other than that, everybody is in the same spot. So yeah, we're kind of chilling there. Okay, so one thing I wanted to focus on specifically with today's, you know, rundown of like the top dogs is their box space. So this is a really big conversation to have because you can see right now I'm at 23 million. All 4 of these players above me are JP players, which means they likely have really limited box space compared to what I've got, right? Now, it is a little bit confusing that you would assume someone like Sakura Fire and someone like DeTruth, who are both very long time players. They have access to any and all box space that's basically ever been given out on the game. But for some reason, and they both should have filled out boxes at this point, right? But for some reason, Sakura Fire is literally 10 million above the truth, and I'm pretty sure I know why. I guess let me go ahead and switch back to the game, and I can show you because I am definitely suffering from the same thing. That's okay. So, if we're to go here, I guess let's do this. This is a good way to show it off. So this here. Oh, I'm even going to do this all at max level, just to give you an idea. So, these are all normals and rares. Look at this. It's 178 of my character slots just on normals and rares, right? DeTruth did this too. He set out on a mission originally to collect every single unit in the game. And then once he finished collecting all of the units, he decided he was going to start getting a 1 in every slot for all of the units. Now, I don't think DeTruth did this for, like, all the normals and rares. So, for instance, right, this Chaozu, not only do I have his rare, but I also have the Unawakened normal, and they're both Link level 10, right? Which you can see he only has 2 links here. A lot of these characters have much less links than, you know, like TUR and LR characters and stuff. So this is hurting my overall power level by quite a bit. Whereas if you were to think about these free-to-play units that I could be farming up, there would be 13 links on each, as opposed to like 2, 4, 5, right? So yeah, the fact that DeTruth did this for hundreds of characters as well is hurting him. And I believe, I would have to assume that this is something Sakura Fire has... Hello. There we go. This is something Sakura Fire has not done, and I believe that Sakura Fire probably just farmed up all of the initial units in his box, and then with all of the extra box space, instead of going and collecting all of those fodder junk rares, he just immediately started farming that Link level team with all of those really good free-to-play characters, right? So, yeah, if that's the case, then that would explain the huge disparity in their power levels, just because with the way you obtain power level, there's no other possibility or option, right? The only other ways this could be possible is if there was some other means of gaining massive amounts of power level, but all of the other instances where you gain power level give you such minuscule amounts. This definitely has to be from total links leveled up. It just has to be. And with both of them having, like I said, tied box space and full box space, there's no way there would be such a big disparity unless it was something like that. So, the reason that I need to hone in on that mentality is because I technically should be running into the same issue. And if we compare some numbers here, then definitely that is the case, right? So let's go ahead and take a look here. We'll go ahead and jump over. Okay, so Sakura Fire's here. So yeah, I went ahead and pulled up people's Twitters just so that we could see their, you know, the most recent screenshots we could find of their box space and stuff. So this post was actually posted yesterday by Sakura Fire. and we can see a screenshot in their box that they have 3950 as their total box space. Remember that mine was upwards of 4700. I believe someone shouted to me recently that the very highest box space that anyone has in the world is like 5200, which sounds about right, because I have missed out on a couple hundred over time, just from not buying all of the, you know, purchasable ticket packs and things like that. So yeah, there is a way to have like even higher box space than what I have. But yeah, so I am substantially higher than these JP players, right? He's got 3950, and then if we take a look at Runo, who's in second place here, he also, he has even less, 3820, wow. And then DeTruth doesn't really post screenshots like this on Twitter in recent times that I've been able to see, like, in his box, which makes sense. He doesn't really show off his characters because he just rainbows them on stream and then makes a video with them link level 10 right away, so, like, why bother posting screenshots of stuff like this, right? But on his YouTube, during his most recent summon session, we were able to see, when he was clearing out character slots, that he has 3940. So basically maxed out and pretty much tied with what Soccer Fire's got here, right? Missing 10, though. I'm curious what that missing 10 is from over time. I wonder if it's from, like, the Ultimate Clash currency or something. Like, there might be a couple of slots of box space. No, surely Truth would have picked those up. Surely he would have picked up everything, like, because I know the Ultimate Clash currency is, like, really rare, and obviously he wants to rainbow all the LRs and stuff, so it would be, I know, like, he hasn't picked up the TUR cards that are available to purchase in there just because of the extra currency, but with all the struggles that he has in his daily YouTube life from not having enough box space, surely he would have picked that up. So yeah, I'm not sure what that extra 10 box space is actually from, but interesting stuff. Okay, so, yeah, if we consider that, and then we go, oh, actually, wait, we need to show off Poi Mao's as well. This is important too. So this is the only person who's not on the power level leaderboard list that has a really high power level here. So as we can see, Poi Mao, here, let me go ahead and full screen that so you can see the number a little bit better. He's got 4560 box space. Is that really it? Wait. Do I actually have more box space than him? I thought he had more than me. So he currently has more units, because 3836. Also, this is from February, so this is pretty outdated. So he's definitely got more. Oh, yep, that's what it is. Because this is from February, something happened in the past couple of months. There was an update where the starting amount of box space that you got went from 200 to 500. They just increased that cap for players, which means that all existing players got an extra 300 box space. So the number that we've seen with mine, where I have 4765, that includes the additional 300. This, because it was from February, is prior to that 300 extra box space that we got. So he is at the very least at 4860, which is obviously higher than me by 100. And then there's also been a couple of purchasable packs throughout these last few months, more than a couple purchasable packs that would allow you to get small increments of extra box space that I would assume this player has purchased that I have not. I do know that Poi Mao is a pretty intense grinder of this game, and he does definitely spend a lot of money on it. You could see, even just by me playing this little snippet here, you could see how many dupes he has of, like, TURs and SSRs of summonable LRs and, like, Dokkan Fests and things like that. He definitely spends a lot of money on the game. There's no way he would have a collection like this without. A lot of this is free-to-play dupes, so don't be, like, too fooled about that. But, you know, a good portion of it is just summonable characters as well. So, yeah, I would not be willing to doubt that he has more box space available than me total. Which means that it will be impossible for me to catch up to his amount of power level. Especially, I guess we could just go back to the top of his Twitter here and look at what his most recent power level is. He makes it super easy because he posts once a week. So yeah, I'm about to hit 30 million here. So yeah, it's definitely going to be difficult for me to catch up to him. But, like, this is one of the only players that still has remaining box space, so I'm not sure if he plans to fill it up with a bunch of free-to-play dupes like these other players have, or if he's just going to continue the grind of collecting, ones in every slots for all these summonable units as he spends money on the game and summons over time. I don't really know what the future of the game looks like for him. I do know that he's still a substantial amount above me, and that if I were to want to catch up to the number that he's at now, I would definitely need to continue the grind in the way of making it, like, grinding up all those extra free-to-play characters. So yeah, these are all things to consider here, right? But yeah, if we go ahead and jump back into game, so this is kind of what I am, the struggle that I am like stuck in right now. I don't really know what to do here. So obviously, actually, we should probably look at the power level leaderboard for this. Sorry, I'm like throwing you guys all over the place here. It's got to be jarring. Okay, we'll do this. So with me at 23 million power level, by the time I finish the next, the rest of the units that I have in my box, hopefully I should be at where the truth is. That's what I'm thinking. I did some rough math with it, ish. That like if my characters are averaging like six links, like I don't remember the math I did specifically, but I think I averaged like 6 links per character. And then obviously, you multiply that by the 235. Actually, for curiosity's sake, I kind of do want to check that. Let me pull up a calculator. Here we go. Okay, so at 6 links per character times 235, that's gonna be that. Okay, and then just because I'm brain dead times 1,000 is gonna be 1.4 million. Yeah. So with all the characters I have left in my box. Oh, actually, okay. This is funny. So I was averaging 6 links because a lot of the characters I have left are like SSRs that may have less than 7 links. So just to kind of give us the benefit of the doubt there. But it's probably more because I have all those Hercule Boos that have 13 links. So it probably is actually more. Let's go ahead and go for 8 links. I think that's a more fair comparison just because of all of those. And then we'll multiply that by the 235 we've got left. And then times that by the 1,000. Okay, so we're looking at like 1.8 million. And if you look at where we're at right now, add the 1.8 million, we're going to be basically at 25 million, right? So we're going to get to the point of being matched with the truth. Now, with these top 3 players having these crazy infinite grinds, not suffering from the same problem as me with having all those extra rares and normals and stuff farmed up, they have much more space for all of those. I don't know if I'll ever be able to catch these players. I mean, maybe, just because, again, like, I have so much more box space available than these 3. But it's looking like by the time I finish my box that I've got now, I will have finally achieved the goal of passing up the truth, or maybe it'll just take a little bit longer for me to do so, because he is, again, going to hit a wall of, running out of box space where I won't. So I could stop there. I could just wipe my hands with it and be like, look, I've been playing Dokkan Battle every single day of my life since basically 2017. I have been, playing all day, every day, like as much as I possibly can, and just fully refreshing my stamina bar as soon as it, depletes. As soon as auto came into the game in 2020, that was when I pulled the trigger on that. Or I guess it was 2021, something like that. Yeah, I think it was 2021. So I've been playing Dokkan just so consistently since then, and for a long time, like, while it was I was super dedicated to the YouTube grind, which I'm still going back and forth with. Obviously, you can see we're back now. But with, just being, like, wishy-washy on that grind now, it doesn't feel as necessary to be as dedicated to the game. I also am trying to fix the financial future of my life, which does not include spending money on gacha games. So I have been working on getting closer and closer to free-to-play again over time. So yeah, just without being able to invest in the game in that way, it makes it feel a little bit less worthwhile to be investing all of my time in and stuff. I don't know, it's just one of those things. It was a cool quirk that I liked about myself for a very long time, but now I feel like it might just be a little bit played out, and I feel like maybe I'll be better off just not link leveling anymore. So yeah, we'll see. Ultimately, the feeling is just going to sink in once I finish, and then once I'm done, I'll know for sure what I want to do. Whether I want to just be done with it, or whether I want to continue to farm up characters and then just keep on going, right? So we'll see. But I've already decided against some of those other endgame grinds. I have no interest in, grinding out EZAs to 999. I have no interest in playing the Whis event and just getting millions of equips. Those type of endgame grinds don't really feel necessary to me. This one, obviously, is just flashy because of the power level status that you get, right? And technically, I feel like you are adding some level of completion to your box because you are, you know, completing characters that technically aren't completed otherwise. It was just an extension of the grind of, like, maxing out everyone's hidden potential and essaying everybody and stuff like that, right? So yeah, I don't know. I guess basically I'm trying to use this as a public service announcement to say, what do you think I should do? Let me know in the comments. I'm very curious to see, you know, because I know that probably 100% of the people that are going to be tuning into this video are longtime enjoyers of my channel and stuff anyway. People that know or have been kind of tracking my grind over time. So let me know what you guys think, because I know it's also a pretty big inspiration for a lot of these folks down here a little bit lower on the list. I'm sure that some of these players would be really bummed to hear that I've stopped. Maybe some of them would be really excited because it would mean that they could finally catch my power level, right? But I know it would be a really sad day to see my name go further and further down this list over time. So, yeah, I don't really know. I don't have too much else for you guys. I think that's about everything I wanted to cover in the video here. Yeah, that's pretty much the it of it. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any other angles of curiosity or things like that, questions you want to ask, or things I didn't think about or mention in the video that you want to bring up, please, by all means, let's start a conversation about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do plan to make some more videos. It's my day off today. I just woke up, so I've got all day ahead of me. I am going to finish recording this and then make some more content. There are definitely a couple of concepts that I want to talk about, so stay tuned for some more videos coming up very shortly. Thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.